Hi, my name is Marie Schofer, and I'm the Associate Director of Admission and International Recruitment at Cornell College in Mount Vernon, Iowa. Today, I'm here to talk to you about researching colleges and finding your fit. Let me take a moment to share my screen with you. To start with, I'd like you to think about some research that was conducted by the Gallup-Purdue Index. And what they found was that it didn't matter as much where you went to school, but what you experienced while you were there. With that in mind, I'd like you to reflect on a few questions that I have. First, how do you want your college experience to be the same or different from your high school experience? What type of classroom setting do you enjoy the most? And what single academic experience have you enjoyed most in high school? Now, I ask these questions because I want you to be considering a lot of different factors. In terms of classroom setting, do you want to be in a small, intimate setting, or do you prefer large lecture halls? Do you want interactive and hands-on learning, or do you enjoy a more passive setting in a lecture-style room? Also consider, what do you enjoy and how do you want to change and grow? To give you an example, when I was a student in high school, I was content to sit in the back of the room, take notes, regurgitate the information when I needed to on a test, but I was very shy and quiet. I knew that when I went to college that I wanted to change and I wanted to grow, and that it would be essential for me to be able to work with others, to be able to speak up for myself, and to present in front of large groups of people. So I actually chose to go to a small college where I couldn't hide in the back of the room and I would have to be participating in class. I really attribute that decision to my career success post-graduation. In terms of the academic experience, I also want you to think about what type of learner you are. Do you enjoy that hands-on experience, building things with your hands? Or do you prefer an audio environment where you're listening? Or do you just like to read a lot? Think about all these things before you even start your college search, before you even start to look through guidebooks and websites. These are good questions to ask. I actually have a few more questions I'd like you to ask yourself. What academic fields do you want to explore in college? I pose the question this way because it's okay if you're still deciding on a major. What extracurricular activities do you want to continue or perhaps try for the first time in college? And what are your strengths and weaknesses? Now, when it comes to the actual search, you can open a guidebook, go straight to the top of the list, and decide that the #1 school must be the right place for you. This is probably not always the case. It's really best to find that place where you are going to be comfortable, where you are going to be successful. What is the type of environment that's going to push you in the appropriate ways? So on this particular slide, I want to talk about how to narrow the search, but how to also keep an open mind. So I start with, what are the non-negotiables? Do you have one particular major that you are very serious about? For example, maybe you want to be a geology major. Well, geology is not the most common major, and so that will eliminate quite a few schools on your list. Perhaps you're also looking for a specific club or organization. Perhaps you want to participate on a Model UN team, a speech and debate team, or a certain athletic team. This will also help you to narrow the search. I also encourage you, though, to keep an open mind with variables that you're still considering. If you're not sure if a small school or a large school is the right fit for you, keep an open mind. Think about considering both large and small schools. And as you get further into this self-exploration process and into your college search, it may become clearer to you which is the better fit. A few resources that I would recommend is, first of all, it's okay to get help. Go to your school counselor. Go to teachers at your school. Talk to family and friends and others. I will caution you that the ideal school for your best friend may not be the ideal college for you, and to keep an open mind about that. There are fantastic resources available to you. College websites are a good place to go. There's also a great website if you're looking at schools in the United States. The College Navigator website, which is sponsored by the US Department of Education, has consistent facts that you can compare and contrast between colleges, and you can be assured that this is accurate data, and that you can compare apples to apples and really understand, what factors between colleges there are and how to compare them. So I would recommend that website as an unbiased place to look for information. If you are someone who is considering a test optional application path, I would take a look at fairtest.org. This is a complete list of all colleges that have test optional policies. I will talk a little bit more about test optional on the next slide as it pertains to international students, so be patient with me. The last website that I have suggested on this page is Colleges That Change Lives, otherwise known as ctcl.org. The CTCL organization represents over 40 colleges and universities in the United States that have a very student-centered approach. If you are looking for a school that is very student-centered, that's going to look at your individual needs and help you develop and grow, CTCL is a great place to look. Test optional is an option for some students at some schools. Not all colleges require tests to be considered for both admission and scholarships. And I want you to be familiar with two terms here. Test blind are colleges that truly do not accept test scores at all. Test optional are colleges where students can opt whether they want to send a test score or not. Please be aware that if you do not submit a test score, a college may require some additional materials for you. And you may also want to ask, is a test score required for scholarship consideration? For international students, there may also be an English proficiency requirement that may include an English proficiency test of some sort, or there may be other options to complete that requirement as well. So keep that in mind. Finally, connect and visit. There's so many ways to connect with colleges, and especially during this pandemic, those ways have actually increased for international students. There are so many great virtual ways to get connected. We have individual visits that can be done virtually. We have, many colleges have tours now that you can watch on YouTube or from their website. There are virtual open houses, virtual college fairs, virtual interviews. And then also you can always text or chat or email your admission counselor. Why is all of this important? Well, for colleges, a visit can demonstrate interest, and it can help your admission counselor become a better advocate for you. Many people know about demonstrated interest, but that relationship building that you can do with an admission counselor is also very, very important. In an admission committee setting, sometimes it's that admission counselor standing up and saying, I can vouch for this student. I feel like they'd be a good fit here, that can make all the difference. For students, any interaction with a college can help you learn more about that college and determine if it's the right fit for you. I hope that this presentation has been informative. If you do have additional questions for me about this topic or about Cornell College, please don't hesitate to contact me at international@cornellcollege.edu. Thank you for your time.